Jntuk is not able to hear the audio, but everyone else seems to be able to hear. So Jntuk, the problem could be at your end. You may want to check. Do you see my screen? I'm sharing a Word document. Okay, perfect. Jntuk Kakinada can see. That means probably everyone else can see. So by last class we covered all the syllabus, right? So now in about a week or two you have your final exams. So typically what I do on the last day of the class, I usually spend time collating all the questions and all, and then making you practice them in the class. Okay. But in the process of doing that, you will be reviewing the material yourself. Okay. The faculty members who are in this institute, you will just facilitate. There is no talking from our side. It is basically ensuring all students go through this one. Okay. So what I did was I should be honest with you. But this is what I could add today. But while you are working on it, even after the class, I'll add some more questions, okay, to this file, so that way you're ready. So there are about let's see what questions we have. We start with linked list. Remember, we started with arrays and linked list, right? So I started from there. Bunch of questions on linked lists. You can see 1, 2, 3. I have some pseudocode there for stack. Okay. And then I ask questions like, what does the function do? A couple of examples in stack. I have some C program there. What is the output of that? That looks like some kind of a postfix notation to me. Okay. Then we talked about trees. So there are a bunch of questions on trees. Okay. We talked about a lot of times about how many nodes are there in a binary tree, the depth of a tree or height of a tree, right? There are a couple of questions on that. And some quick question on complexity. That way it will allow you to go back and look at the complexity that we talked about. Okay. We talked about binary search trees, so there's a question on binary search trees. Okay, couple of questions on that. Then we talked about graphs. So I could add a lot more in graphs, but for now I just added one question to graphs. Okay. I could have added more questions on for example, something like a directed graph, undirected graph, spanning tree, right? I'll add some more later and then post it again. And then for convenience, I gave the extra algorithm. I asked you to trace it. If you recall, I said you should be tracing the code. I do not know how many of you have done it or not. I have not seen any posts in the community from any student. But I hope you did that. So there's a question on that, but for convenience I gave the full Dijkstra's algorithm here, high level, and then there is a trace as to how that algorithm works here. Okay. Any questions so far as to what this practice questions are about? Okay. So we have the next hour and a half or whatever the time it is, and even beyond the class. What I want the faculty members to do there is print out these things for you in the lab. Okay. You work in pairs of 2. Right? It's collaborative learning, right? So do it in pairs of 2. Look at the questions and answer them. By the way, this is just practice, so this is not a The way I review my stuff is through practice. So you have your slide decks with you. You should have either printed them out, put them in a binder, or they can print one copy and put it there, whatever the case may be, right? So all you do is work on these problems. Got it? Anyone have any questions? Do we have a faculty member? I think there's a faculty member in DMS, right? Madam, you can facilitate that today. And do we have a faculty member in JNTUV today in the classroom? Whoever is managing the video, please ask them to print it out and give copies to you. I think this would be a better deal. I do not know whether this is more exciting or going and watching the morning show of Premam today, of Shruti Hassan and Naga Chaitanya. I think this is more exciting than that. Okay, that's it. Now, while you are doing that, I just wanted to show you one thing. Go ahead while you are printing it out. Download it from the community, print it out. Start doing it. I wanted to kind of show one quote. If I can open my file, then I can, this is my favorite quote that I always conclude my lecture with. If I can find it, I will show it to you while you are doing it, okay? Let me see if I can find it here somewhere. Yep, I have it here. Let me share my screen with you. So my lectures typically, or whatever I do, this is one of the quotes that I use when I'm concluding my presentations or lectures. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. It's a very profound statement by Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu. Okay? To think of the way I look at the data structures class is really the first step for you. Okay? In your lifelong journey or career. This journey is your career, right? So, very important subject. It's a foundational course. So hopefully you all learned something here with all the practice that I made you do in the classes. Some of you would have liked me, some of you would have hated me for making you do all this work, right? But I didn't care less. Whether you like me, don't like me, dislike me, or I give you bad dreams in your sleep, I did not care, right? All I care is that you learn. So, keep that in mind. Whatever you are doing, you always think of it as a first step towards a long journey. So with that, my formal lecturing part is over. You work on this document that I showed you today. And then I will, over the next few days, I will add a few more questions to the Word document and update it and post it in the community. If I feel like posting any other cheat sheets for you, I will do that too. Okay? Go ahead and start working on that Word document.
Let's get to this company.
Chakravarti gave a good quote. Let me see. He put it for everyone, right? Yeah, I like this code a lot. I learned it from you. Take up, I will read it out because it's so nice. Take up one idea. Make that one idea your life. Think of it, dream of it, live. That's why we say eat. You sleep, eat, breathe, everything, that one idea. Let the brain, muscles, nerves, every part of your body be full of that idea. And just leave every other idea alone. So Chakravarti has this quote that is my all-time favorite. That's what he said. I think that idea is kind of going to be shown in a movie, right? Pretty soon in Diwali release. We are all waiting to see the Karan Johar's movie. Hey, Dil Hai Mushkil. I think that's what that guy is. He lives, breathes everything Aishwarya Rai in that movie. Okay. Thanks, Andy, for the quote. Nice quote. Unless you do that, I think I mentioned one more thing. I think I should say that too, right? I don't know if I shared that story with you or not. The 10,000 hours. Did I share the 10,000 hours syndrome with this class? I don't remember. But I'll repeat it anyway, in case I shared it already, right? So when you look at all these world-class athletes, right, there was some scientific study done. If you look at like Roger Federer or Sania Mirza, right, she's a role model in India. It has been documented that they have spent 10,000 hours of practice. Basically their entire time, live, breathe, eat, to quote Chakravarti Garu's quote here, right? That is what they have done. And look at the results, right? 10,000 hours, by the way, you know how many years it is? It's 5 years. 8 hours a day. Okay? So, by doing that, they achieve that world-class excellence. That is what it takes, right? These things are all like you literally have to spend all your time working on these things. Cannot stress enough. If I have to give any kind of pointers for the class here, you have got to be more interactive. You are now second year, as you second year, first semester, as you go to next semester, and so on, you have got to be more. Because that shows enthusiasm, right? When you are doing all of these things, live, breathe, eat, what it means is in a different way, it's enthusiasm. Enthusiasm, people who have enthusiasm to succeed, they will ask questions. They will be more interactive because they want to learn more. The best way to learn a material is to ask a lot of questions. If there are no questions asked, the instructor would say, aha, this class, there is no need for me to share too much knowledge, right? It doesn't happen in my classes. I would still teach it anyway. But interaction allows me to bring out other points, right? Depending on the type of questions. So be very chatty in a class, be interactive. No instructor would feel bad if you ask questions. Remember that. I don't know if you had a fear or should we ask or should we not ask. Long time ago I had a professor where if he asked him a question, he would give that look. And there goes my A grade. It was that fierce. But I don't think today's faculty are like that. Most of the faculty members today, they are all very sharp. I saw some of the interactions of the faculty members in our class. They are great teachers. So don't be shy going forward. Faculty members, can you put it in the chat here whether you are able to print out the Word document? I also emailed it to everyone, by the way. Who are the 261 students who are in the email, in the community, I emailed it to them. While you're doing that one, I will give me a second while you're working on it. I think Venkat. Okay, DMS students are working on the problems. Okay, that's good. Chakratika, I think Jntuk we put their email ID, so you may want to send the Word document to them. Or should I do it? I can send it too. Why don't I just send it to them? Okay, I'll switch to my window here. I give you ample opportunities. Whenever I have test data, I can follow the code line by line and see what is happening to the data. Right? And that will tell me automatically what the program is doing. I hope you guys are liking these practice problems. Discussion, if you have any questions on the practice questions, you can ask your faculty members there. You can put them in the chat. Somebody can answer that. Okay?